It is the beginning of summer in Antarctica. We are passing through the Southern Ocean. Tabular icebergs, the size of city blocks, have broken away from Antarctic ice shelves and float freely around the Southern Ocean. This Antarctic circumpolar ocean is a convergence of warm ocean surface waters merging with cold, nutrient-rich deep waters, and it flows continually clockwise around Antarctica. Massive flows of freezing sea ice melt, break up, compact, and freeze together again to create an endless expanse of floating ice. Adelie penguins resting on the ice floes are now ready to resume their fishing. It is the beginning of summer. Antarctic ice is melting and breaking up. We have arrived at our destination. Aboard the Ortelius on ocean-wide expeditions, we have traveled for 3 days, crossing from the tip of South America, through the Southern Ocean, and then into the Weddell Sea. Here we can shelter from the wind and currents near Snow Hill Island. If weather conditions are good, on this expedition we will visit a colony of emperor penguins. Emperor penguins are the largest of the penguin species and one of the most challenging to visit. Emperor penguins travel miles over the ice sheet to feed and raise their young penguin chicks. We are at the mercy of weather and ice in this remote Antarctic area. Strong wind and currents can come up with very little notice, and we have a short window of opportunity. Our flight crew and experienced pilots are among the best in the world. Today we have the opportunity to fly with them. The penguins sliding on their stomachs are tobogganing, making better time and avoiding the strong winds. Worldwide climate change is affecting every place on Earth, including the polar zones. Over the past 30 years, the Southern Ocean has been subject to rapid climate change, leading to changes in ice thickness and marine ecosystems. We have reached the glacier base camp, set up and monitored by our ocean-wide Arctic crew. Snow Hill Island is in the distance. We are on a thick ice sheet spreading into the Weddell Sea. We still need to wear life jackets. It is ice cold, windy, and well below zero. We come across our first emperor penguin today, returning from the sea to the colony. From its full stomach, we can tell he is returning full of food for its chicks. Emperor penguins have no fear of humans. This bird is curious and amazed to see us. We need to keep our distance and go around. I am traveling with documentary photographer and naturalist J.J. LaRue. She has worked and studied in the region for over 30 years. J.J. LaRue published works, images, and lectures have been featured in natural history museums, environmental galleries, and universities throughout the world. Participating in a series of scientific and environmental studies, her interest is in the animals' well-being and how their ecosystem is changed over time. The wind is coming up. We are getting closer to the main emperor penguin colony. The colony is sheltered behind large chunks of upturned ice sheet. It is summertime and there are 24 hours of daylight, but the temperature is dropping as the low-lying sun is covered by a layer of clouds. As we are getting closer to the emperor penguin colony, we can hear the chicks in the rookery. When we get there, the chicks look healthy and strong. There are thousands of healthy emperor penguin chicks in this colony. The adults returning from the sea with food must locate its one and only chick in this large group. These emperor penguin chicks are waiting for their parents to return from fishing. They are gathered together for warmth and protection in what is sometimes called a creche. The chicks will eat snow to stay hydrated. Even though we are surrounded by frozen fresh water and ice, the extreme cold makes Antarctica one of the driest places in the world. The ice shelf we are on is massive. It is anchored to Snow Hill Island. At present it is secure, but steadily moving, expanding, and splitting into the ocean. The ice shelf formed when accumulated snow turned into ice and pushed into the Weddell Sea under the pressure of gravity and its own mass. Emperor penguins may never set foot on land. They are entirely dependent on sea ice, where they hunt for fish, squid, or krill. They also need thick, stable ice as a platform for raising chicks. These chicks will grow rapidly, but it will be several months for them to get strong enough to swim and grow waterproof feathers. Without waterproof feathers, they would drown in the icy waters. The adult penguins instinctively keep the colony a good distance from the windy edge of the ice. Near the edge, the ice is constantly breaking off into the sea. There could also be leopard seals lurking about. In the distance, we finally spot a caravan of adults making their way through chunks of broken packs of ice. They are returning late in the day with food for the hungry chicks. While the parents are away, the chicks are attended to by the protective, unattached adults milling about the colony. Emperor penguin parents returning from fishing go through a ritual bonding behavior. The chick must wait patiently. The wind is coming up, and it is getting very cold. This is the first time I have been able to visit an emperor penguin colony. Today has been a wonderful experience. The sun will not set for several months, until winter. The temperature of the outer air is below freezing. Under the ice, a complex biochemical process is taking place. Cold, deep water currents gather nutrients from the ocean's floor, and then mix with the warm surface water siphoned into the Antarctic Southern Ocean. 24 hours of sunlight activates photosynthesis in the phytoplankton, emerging in the mineral-rich waters. Billions of newly hatched shrimp-like krill feed on the phytoplankton. Krill is a keystone species in Antarctica. Krill is vital to the ecosystem as a food source. The fish and squid these penguins catch in the ocean survive on the abundance of krill. When the parents return from fishing, a portion of the fish and squid have been pre-digested and are then regurgitated into the hungry mouths of the growing chicks. There is no time for this chick to lie around and sleep after dinner. Parents take an active role in exercising their chicks. Winter is coming soon. This chick needs to develop enough strength and stamina to make the long trek to the ocean and eventually learn to swim and catch its own meals. More clouds pass over. The wind gets stronger and colder. We need to make our way back to the glacier base camp. On our trek back to the base camp, this clever young emperor penguin keeps out of the cold wind by staying behind JJ. And then we are all surprised to see an Adelie penguin miles away from his home colony, exploring on the ice. Emperor penguins have evolved over millennia to survive in Antarctica. We now have a window of opportunity to help preserve this complex ecosystem. Emperor penguin populations and habitats have declined over the past 30 years. Global climate change is altering the current balance of this remote ocean-based biosphere. World economic competition for new protein-based ocean food sources has also affected this extreme habitat. We humans still have a lot to understand about the survival of life on this planet.